morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the world you're connected in from. Today's session is a coaching demo, Make Your Clients Shine Far and Long with Jean-Francois Cousin. We have folks from Memphis in the US, from Taipei, in from Melbourne, Australia, Phoenix, Trinidad and Tobago, Montreal, chilly and sunny Scotland, right? Canada, back spanning all four of the time zones in the US, Toronto, Zurich. Oh, hello, David Perry. So again, as always, a truly international group. Jean-Francois is an executive coach and the former chairman of the global board of the ICF, the International Coach Federation, and one of the highest rated WBEX by Coaching.com speakers in recent years. Based in Asia for over 2 decades, Jean-Francois has helped over 1,000 executives in 35 countries across 6 continents. By combining Asian wisdom with Western methodology into his coaching, he helps others unleash their potential. Now, Jean-Francois is just barely back in Bangkok after what should have been just a 2-hour flight from Hong Kong back to Bangkok. It was 9 hours of plane, trains, and automobiles to get him back and settled. So even though things go sideways, WBEX by Coaching.com happens. So Jean-Francois, thrilled to have you back and love hosting you. So I'll see you in a few.
Likewise. Yes, I had a difficult Thursday, and you've got to write travel Thursdays, David,
right.
After Mindset Mondays, right?
I'll work on that book next.
So thanks, David. A joy to partner with you today, and thanks everyone for joining. And it's going to be a joy to partner with you all today as we reflect and generate ideas about how we can be and what we can do to enable our clients to empower themselves to shine far and long. And by that, I mean empower themselves to unleash more of their greatness. And with it, get more and more inspired and become a beacon of inspiration. And I'd love that we all get grounded before we go for the demo and then our conversation. And I'd love to invite you to go with me by the ocean side and take a few deep breaths right now. And welcome back. Open your eyes, and here's the program, right? So after the demo, I will offer some ideas about the way of being we can choose as a coach that will enable, as David suggested, our clients to empower themselves to shine far and long, and also some ideas of actions you can take to deepen and accelerate your clients' progress during your sessions, and eventually how to close your sessions in a way that emboldens your clients and motivates them to go even further. And you know, this topic comes as a sequel of what I offered last June, and it was a session titled Go for Gold, about setting up coaching sessions for success. And for those of you who did not attend, I'll just summarize it for you, because in the coaching demo, I'm going to engage Vugar, with whom I'll introduce shortly. I'll also demonstrate, or at least try to demonstrate what I talked about when I spoke last June about going for gold, right? And as those of you who attended will probably remember, I insisted that it's important to prepare your clients for deep exploration work from the get-go, right? And so it matters that we go slow at the beginning to then go deeper and faster later on, right? Besides thanking our clients wholeheartedly, mentioning that we're happy to be with them helps, as it creates a nice space that will become a safe space, right? And then just connect with how your client is being, right? Take a minute at least to do that, and then ask them if they need anything at all to become fully present to the conversation. Right now, having done that, they are ready. You've started building the right space for exploration. It's important that you partner with the client to get a golden objective. That means an objective that will have a chance to be life enhancing and not just an objective at problem solving level, right? So examples of questions that may help get to very valuable objective, right? And there again, as you ask those questions, speak slow, like you are asking multi-million-dollar questions. What is most important for us to explore today? And as the client answers, notice important words, and you may question what they mean to the client in her or his world, right? Question the importance of the topic that the client offers to the conversation, right? And notice emotions, energy shifts, hesitations perhaps, right? Ask what they may be about, and then go deep, right? At a deeper level. What is this really about, right? What really matters deep inside the client's body, right? Reach the depths of who the client is or needs to be, yeah? And then once you've reached that depth, then comes the moment to ask for an objective, right? Not before, yeah? And of course, you want to make sure that the objective is about the person, not somebody else, or not a problem, an external problem, right? And also make sure that the objective is worded positively, right? It's about doing something, not doing something, right? And then it's cool if you can ask the client if the work goes really great, what they'd like to walk away with, yeah? And something I had said also in June that I thought I would remind you of is really important to the work we're going to do today about enabling our clients to empower themselves to shine far and long. And it's like we're not in the profession of helping people and not helping people grow for that matter. No, that's not the job. The job is really a taller order, in fact, right? And that is, we are in the profession of enabling people to empower themselves to grow. And WBEX in the community ask you, right? Just, I think today or very recently, what you do to help yourself empower your clients, right? So I hope that today, along the coaching demo that we're going to start now, right, and our talk afterwards, you'll find even new ideas, and also it will be great if you offer your own ideas about this to the conversation. All along the live demo, we invite you to share your observations, right, in the chat box, to share questions, and also to share ideas of what I could have done with Vugar instead of what I did, yeah? And we'll have a quick catch up on your contribution just after the demo, and then we'll have 15 minutes conversation at the end of our session today. So thanks in advance for contributing all along the demo in the chat box. Now with this, I'd love to introduce Vugar, my very esteemed guest today. It's a privilege, really, and a pleasure to welcome Vugar Zadig in our session today. Vugar has spent the first half of his career in the public sector in Azerbaijan, notably at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And Vugar has held senior positions in various embassies around the world. And then he decided to move to the private sector, first with Pasha Bank, where he held several director positions. Vugar also served as the head of enterprise business unit for Azercell, a subsidiary of a major Swedish telecom company. And since 2016, Vugar is the CEO advisor at Capital Bank in Azerbaijan. So joining us from Baku today, Vugar, whilst being obviously a very busy executive, has taken a keen interest in coaching and is actually actively pursuing his coaching education. So Vugar, a very, very warm welcome and much gratitude to you for joining us today. And I wish to ask you, how are you doing today, Vugar?
I'm fine. I was looking forward to our session, and I'm privileged to work with you. Thank you so much, and everyone.
The honor is mine. Thanks, Vugar. And I heard that there was some very strong winds in Baku at the moment. Whether it's
you can't. You can't believe, but like the Facebook this morning, it reminded me like 3 years ago, the same day, it was the same strong wind and the cold. I mean, it's like a -2, but it's very cold for Baku. And it's really windy, but it's getting down now. We survived. And Baku, anyway, is a city of winds. It's
city of winds. City of winds. And okay. Well, thanks for sharing. Stay warm. I can see you've got the proper jacket, right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks. So Vugar, is there anything you need to do to become just fully grounded and present to our conversation?
I'm fine. I mean, your presence also already calming me down. I like your energy, so that makes me really calm down. So I'm fully present. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks very much, Vugar. So now I'm curious, of course, what is it that you would like to explore today that's important to you and your future?
Yeah. While you were introducing me, I thought, my God, I mean, it's so long. It's a long career in various, and I don't know, I don't believe in coincidence, but it's a coincidence that this is the beginning of the year, and I was thinking of, again, changing of my career, and I just learned last week that it's gonna happen like June 1st. Okay, so before I was like thinking, should I not, what I should do, but it is already fixed, so it's some clarity. But what's bothering me is, again, the question is like whether I want to go do the same, or I should go again work with company. Should I go for the government, or I should be alone? You know, it's like doesn't let me sleep in the nights, because I feel like I have some bigger mission. I can do better what I've done before, and but once I start thinking, I get also some fear, probably. I don't know. I don't think it's fear, but I don't know. Let's call it fear for now. So, and many things goes in my head because of that. I'm thinking of moving, I'm thinking of new career, I'm thinking of studying, I mean, all those things. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking, what is the one thing or the one way I can serve more people? So that's always like goes like first line, you know? And that makes me like a little bit worried. And one of my coaching sessions, I found this, that I was working on my mission, and it said like, you know, I'm making these spiritual waves, and I like it. So, but that was just only like nice mission statement, but I haven't done anything so far. And I'm trying now to find out whether I am the real wave maker or not. You know, so I hope I don't know. It was like a probably long introduction, but it is still going in my head, you know, and I'm trying to be also ecological in my decision, what I will do, you know, so it will be not negatively impact my family also. So that's why it's like, it's tricky, like, to put this away. It's tricky.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Hugo, for sharing. So I heard so many important things and so many things I found beautiful, right? And I also noticed, Vugar, you used the word feeling about the bigger mission and associated thinking and fears, right? And perhaps we'll dive into this later or not, you know, you will choose, right? But for now, if I get your permission, I'll share an observation with you, Vugar. Is it okay?
Please. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So you shared with me non-stop, which means you have not breathed properly for the first 4 minutes, right? And so then my invitation is, can you take a few deep breaths, right? Connect the whole body, right? And then sense what matters most here for the future.
I have feeling it is more something like I need to do myself, like it's like projecting myself to outside world, right? Not projecting someone's mission statements, I don't know, representing some companies or this, but I feel like, you know, it's time for me now to project myself. This is what comes to me. Like, I don't know in which way, but it's projecting, you know, it's something. It also comes like, it's I love this also metaphor of light, you know, you put the light on, you know, so you become this source of light, something like that. I don't know, it's like, yeah, there is like something inside and I want to get out, you know, and share that, you know, to yeah, this is what's, it's like getting out.
Yeah.
Getting out.
Yeah. And I'm hearing a different kind of energy where the moment you started saying protecting myself, right? And your hands were there just showing, right? The move, right?
Yeah.
And I'm curious, that energy, where is it in your body?
Somewhere below maybe, but I feel it should be somewhere here, you know. It's like now it's like somewhere here, but it should be somewhere here. It's like I feel like it's burning, even here when I'm talking here, like it's something like here. It's like a heavy. I feel it with my even the ribs when it is like a pain. It's like I get the pain, you know. So, and it's now once you said it, like, you know, I feel like I kept that energy inside. I didn't let it go. So, and maybe that's also the issue for me. I don't know, but this is like this thought came to my mind. But once it's I remove it, release it,
Yeah.
maybe I'll get more energy, I think.
Okay. Aha. Interesting. The moment you go into thinking, it becomes evasive, right? Maybe. But the energy doesn't lie, right? The energy doesn't lie, right? And if you don't mind, I'd like to stay with it and with you on it, right? Because you mentioned pain. So tell me about that pain and that energy, right? What is it?
I had this image when you deal with the elephant, and you tell elephant you have to behave as a mouse. So you take this beauty of this elephant and you encapsulate in smaller jar and say, this is your place. And then you tell, no, I'm elephant. You say, but no one cares that you're elephant. You're just mouse. You have to be mouse. Yeah. That's probably, jar is too small.
So what happens to the jar when you project yourself to the outside world?
Can you rephrase it?
Yeah, well, so you talk about a jar, right? The elephant compressed into a jar. And earlier on, you said with strong energy, you want to project yourself to the outside world, right? So I was experimenting with mixing the two, right? Now, what happens to the jar when you project yourself to the outside world?
It's about escaping. You know, escaping from the jar. I mean, it's like leaving this jar for someone else and just be free. You know, be myself. You know, if I'm elephant, I should be elephant, you know. So, you know, in our life, you always pretend that you're someone else. You play the roles. You know, you always have these names. You name this all my titles. I've been there, but it was like I was behind all this, you know, but no one saw the name. So I took the role, but now it's more like projecting yourself as you are. So and that's probably important. And that's probably when you don't do it, when you're not yourself, you get this pain, you know.
Okay.
It's also like you always like people trying to pull you into the box, and then they tell you, oh, let's think out of box. And I don't like this metaphor, because I always tell, why would you put yourself in the box and then try thinking of out of box? I mean, it's ridiculous. Don't put first yourself into the box. I was telling to everyone, but now, like, since this COVID time, and I spend more time with me because I traveled less this period of time, so I had more of thinking and of my feelings, you know, this period, and that's probably the result. I realized that, you know, it was not me.
Hey, so who is you then, Vugar?
Again, I'm really it's very close to my heart. It's like I'm a wave maker, you know, and someone who can help more people than I can do it now, you know. And I mean, people, they asking me like for example, like in LinkedIn, you have so many followers, like how it happened? I don't know. They just happened. I mean, people follow me. I don't know. People, they see some value, right? But I cannot see it. That's the problem. You know, it seems like, again, I just share what I know, what I have experienced, but I think I can do it more if I have rid of this all, how to say this, obstacles, or all these boxes, you know, this jar, you know, and I need to believe in myself, and that Vugar will be different Vugar, right? Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I did once the wave in when Red Sox in Boston, they were playing Red Sox game. I was my first time baseball time match. I don't understand. I used to not. I didn't understand what baseball is, but I liked very much the mood there. But when I saw the people, I said, "Oh, this is a great time to make a wave." And can you imagine, from the third attempt, I did the wave with a lot of drunk people, but I did the wave, whole stadium. And I thought, oh my God. And I lost my voice, but I did it. It was like probably the best time when I remember, you know, how that's powerful and what I can do. People were thinking I'm crazy. The whole week they will tell this Vugar, the strange guy from Baku, he made this wave. Then no one believed that I can do it, but I did. Yeah, that's you know, it reminded me, you know, yeah, I can do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that we had the iPhones we have now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see the waves behind me, right? This is a tribute to you today.
I like it.
The
Yeah,
wave maker.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, and so Vugar, thanks again for the wealth of insights you've offered to the conversation already. And is this a good time to take a minute and think what can be the most valuable objective for our session today?
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, if I could, by the end of this hour session, if I could understand what best should happen to me after June 1st, you know, what's the best way to get how I should build up next, you know, my part of my life, you know. I've started already thinking, I'm exploring, but I'm not yet have this clarity, you know. What is this? What is next step? Okay, if I want to do this, so what's next? If I could get clarity on that, my next step, it's again, it's not the next step. It's like I'm thinking like opening up new life. It's like a completely like a new life. Everything is new. It's like changing everything, you know. It's like waking up in the morning and saying like, oh my God, I'm different, you know. And I you know, that's something. If I understand that, I will get a lot of energy and it will help me to move on. Yeah, I feel now like this is exactly this clarity. They will make me so much energetic and to pursue this goal, you know. And that's this like a key moment. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I would love to get it.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
And Vuga, can I invite you to summarize in one short sentence the objective? Right, the objective is
to get clarity on my next page of my life. Let's put it this way.
Next phase of my life. All right. Yeah, so sounds like an outcome as well, right? So I will not bother you with asking you what could be a great outcome from the conversation, right? Wow, that's very ambitious. No promise here, right? The Vugar will play and we'll see where we land, right? Maybe
Magic
not
happens.
as Boston, huh? But
yeah.
Okay. So where would you like to start our exploration?
Where to start? We already kind of started talking about this, but one of the questions, like, I need to also like probably investigate is like why this is important for me. You know, it's like I love this question of why, you know, because if I know why, I always can find this way how to do it and what to do it. You know, but we could look why this is important.
Shall we? Shall we?
Yeah, you ask me a question, I'll tell you.
Yeah, the question is, why is this important?
Oh. Yeah, when I was like 50, it was coincided with the COVID, right? And I said myself, like, okay, I've done 50, half a century. So I should do another half a century. I should plan for the next half a century. Okay. And I started thinking like what I should do. And I realized that I need to find a way how to better serve the people around me. You know, be useful, be servant. You know, and it's also coincided, like I'm doing this, you know, this coaching for the last 5-7 years, and it changed also the way you think. You know, mental thinking and mental the curiosity also. So, and I realized that I can serve better. So it's also image of service, servant. It also comes. So that's why it's important for me to find this way, and that's why I'm very much believer into the Sustainable Development Goals. Probably you know the SDGs. You know, so I have like 2 goals that I'm following for, and I'm doing some work for that. And but I realized, like, it's like here, like, I need to get kind of better understanding what I'm capable of at the same time. So my capacity and my why should combine. It's like somehow, and that makes my work important, first of all, for me. And you know, I'm less concerned. I'm completely not concerned about my career at all. Imagine, you know, unless this career helps me to serve people. So this is how mentally I'm functioning, you know. So, and it's also the way now for me why it's important also is I want now to do not what my left brain tells me, but right brain. So my heart. So I want to follow my heart, learn how to follow my heart. That's how I put the things on the table. And that's why this, I think, is, yeah, that's serving it takes a lot of space now in my heart, and I really want to transform. It's about transforming, like, you know. Yeah. Mhm. I hope I didn't confuse you and myself.
You know what I'm observing, Vugar, right?
Yeah.
You are on a wave. The wave maker is on a wave. To me, it looks good. So what is happening inside now, deep inside the body?
It's like it's like now like a music. When I've said that, you know, you sometimes you listen to some music and it vibrates on your frequency and you like it, right? And this is something that I feel now, like it vibrates with my heart. So probably that's why I'm okay. I think I'm right. This is something right. Now that's kind of, I have getting confirmation inside. I don't know. I'm not, I wasn't really friendly to my heart before. I'm learning that now. So, and that's why it's like, I need to understand and develop some language with my heart and my body. I'm not that kind of person like who can speak and do, you know, this stuff. I'm coming more from this analytical part, and so that's why I can now feel like, okay, that's good. It goes like very smooth with my spirit. So probably it's a good thought. I'm not talking about the, you know, raising millions and billions and, you know, building up some businesses that will make me rich, blah, blah, blah. I'm not kind of now, I feel like I'm not interested in that things. But it's more, it's like really what I've said now, it's like, it's smooth. So I get, I got some energy also, I feel. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so in that that state, right, that you are in, Vugar, what clarity, if any, you've gotten about the next phase of your life?
Um, I definitely now feel that I would not apply for any corporate life. I mean, it's over. I feel I have like now even feeling like, you know, this is like exactly the people already tapping, you know, and they asking, but and probably, yeah. So anyway, I feel like I should not do what the clarity is coming, like I should not do any work that would put me in any kind of structure. Okay, so formal structure, you know, I can do something else, but I would not go with the formal structure.
Okay.
That's now getting clear for me. So that will limit myself if I want to serve more people, that will limit myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So it should be not be there. Yeah.
Okay, so not serve people better, not in a structure. Okay.
Yeah. Formal
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So when you were talking about escape and pain before, and not being yourself, did this have to do with structure? If anything, maybe it had nothing to do with structure.
Yeah. It is simple. It's like, let's say you work for the company, and every company has its own culture, and they have the priorities, they have the dress code, these all things, right? And bigger the company is, it's less dynamic, and it's getting more bureaucracy, and whenever you suggest something innovative or something to change, they don't get in and they don't buy in, and that's kind of things, and then they tell you, like, you just do whatever I tell you to do, and you do it. That makes me a little bit sad, and I understand it's a pretty much the way how it should companies work, but for me, I have the other examples of the companies that they can really do the better job, but at the end of the day, the companies are companies. They have to be formal, right, and structured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I realized that that's something it doesn't. It's like I'm on different, again, using this word, frequency with these companies.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then, Vugar, if we look at the future, and now with clarity about what you don't want, then what is it that you want?
Yeah, that's the key. It's so I want to find the way, again, where I can again, being like if you talk with corporate language, like I want to be my own brand. Okay, so be brand of myself. I don't want, because again, I have experiences, knowledge, everything. It's time for me to share. I've got everything, but I feel like I have to share this, all what I have learned, and also what's important is like bring changes. I'm in the way I am the person who brings the new stuff wherever I used to work. So my main I always had like this kind of term. I'm not going to just manage what I do, what other people managed before me. Whether I build something new, or I will change it and build another one. So I always was builder, like making new stuff. And when it comes like to what do you call this some routine, it doesn't work for me. So that's why I would probably be brand that also includes some innovations in my DNA, in my communication. If you have a brand, okay, you have to have a brand communication. So yeah.
Okay. So be my own brand with some innovation in your DNA, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then are there some things that you shared since we started conversing today that will belong to that brand, Vugar?
Um, what's also I'm now teaching besides my work extra, it's ethics. So, and this is something I stopped doing the trainings and teaching on other subjects. I had like a big portfolio, but only the ethic. So I have now, I feel like it's also part of me because it came to me, it was very close to my heart, and I like what I'm doing, and so, and I'm true believer in virtues, so that will be also the way how to projecting the ethical society, you know, because people talk about ethics like in a very superficial way, you know, but what is the ethics in our everyday life, you know, and for the better sustainable life, we need to be really understanding what is the ethics for, and how get better of version of yourself. So maybe that will be again part of this brand. Yeah.
Maybe.
So not baby, but now what I was this before you said that is like I have clarity that I need first of all to again clarify what is this, what I'm going to project. You know, when you say Vugar, what is this? You know, what's it all about? It's like when they say Apple, you don't think about Apple. You go, oh, Apple, you mean iPhone? so this kind of thing, you know. So, and yeah, that's probably, yeah, that will help me to clarify exactly, you know, how to move on further. I never tried this before, so that's why it's so many unknowns for me, you know, and so yeah. Yeah. So share the experience, innovations, ethics. These three components will serve as a brand core, let's put it this way. And yeah.
Okay, so the brand core attributes, if I may add the word, right, brand core attributes would encompass shared experience, innovation, ethics, and that. And then if we move to the purpose stage, if you allow me, right, like the difference you want to make with your own brand to the bigger world out there, right? Purpose.
Yeah. The purpose is like, again, just make people happy, you know. Don't wait until you're 52. And in today's life, and also what's happening now very close to us, our neighbor Turkey, it shows, you know, you live one time, you have one chance, and better you change yourself and be a good person at the end of the day, you know, and in this world it's doesn't matter so much, you know, how much you have there, because at the end of the day, when you leave this world, you will not take anything with you. Yeah, I feel now like it's like oh my god, I forgot this word. What do you call this guy in the church who talks about the religion, you know?
Priest
or priest, yeah. I feel like, you know, I'm going to be like a priest, you know. Why not? You know, I feel like, you know, there is a strong need for that, and I also believe that you start with yourself and then your surroundings, you know, and it goes like as a wave again. It goes like a wave. So that's what this is exactly, you know. I'll start projecting myself, and I will do. Again, I'm constrained at the moment. I cannot write a lot of things in let's say in LinkedIn, right? Because I'm representing the company, though I'm not representing the company in LinkedIn per se, but they're looking at me like a representative, right? But once I'm alone, so by myself, my language probably change, my attitude will change in terms of like what I want to write, what I think is right to tell, say, or right to write there, you know. So that will be probably, it will add another value what I'm saying and doing. This is exactly, yeah.
And so I've noticed a shift in your language and energy at the same time. If you allow me to share my observation, right, Vugar, right? You said I will for the first time, whereas you had said I should, I could, probably, maybe, and there was only one probably, which sounded coming from a place of modesty, right? So most welcome, but yeah. So what is it gonna be?
Yeah, what's gonna be? The happiest person is like getting freed, you know, when you can exercise your free will for better off, you know, and that's the it must be exciting feeling when this day happens and you say I'm free, you know, and that's the interesting. Yeah, I never had this because I used to work all the time since my young times, you know, and so it was always non-stop, all of pressure, and now it's like I don't know what to expect. I don't know how that's gonna be. That will be exciting. I mean, new feelings, new situation. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm really curious. Yeah, I don't know. It's like February, we have March, April, May. My God, almost 4 months, 3 months. Yeah, yeah. So
Springtime.
that will be interesting. Yeah. Springtime. Yeah.
And so what I just noticed, you know, Vugar is the fire, the good fire growing inside of you. And I know, well, Azerbaijan is the land of fire in the first place, right? And very sacred, right? And now I feel that inside of your body. Maybe I'm wrong, huh? But
no, I mean it's I what's important, I'm getting excitement. This is what I like, you know, and it's like I'm going, you know, to the moment internally when you start, you know, believing that you can do whatever you want like this. It's very important. It's very important.
And it is beautiful.
Yes, it's very beautiful. Yeah.
So thank you very much for inspiring us all on this path. Vugar, perhaps we can wrap up as we are a bit pressed for time.
Okay.
Taking a couple of minutes, Vugar, perhaps to reflect about what actions you're going to take, right, to keep that momentum and grow that beautiful fire.
First of all, what I'll spend at least 1 or 2 weeks accepting myself, accepting my future of myself.
Yeah.
accepting my future of myself.
Yeah.
Future of myself, and what was also important, I think, I will explore, and I use this word branding. I have a friend of mine who is a professional in branding. I will I will see how with his help or professionally how best way to brand this. So again, it's not only about the branding, but it's all about the what do you call this communication, right? How we communicate this, you know, and this is exactly, you know.
Step 2, right? Step 1, accept my future self. Step 2, work with a professional in branding, right? Yeah. And when do you want to start doing that?
Oh, I mean, if not today, but I mean, literally, I mean, it's like from tomorrow on. Now I'm kind of, I need to get like, you know, some continue some kind of excitement, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think we've got any third step you'd like to take just now, or we good with that already?
No, it's good. I'm now focused very much on these steps. Now that's I'll just continue, and but I'm sure once I start, you know, to what do you call this, working on it, I will have more questions that I'll come back maybe later on.
Yeah, you know, so you took off the jacket, right?
It's getting hot now.
Now you put up such a big smile. So thanks for that, lighting us up, right? Vugar, just in closing, right? What is the most important thing you learned today about yourself?
That's the remembering this stadium, you know, making the wave. I can do it, you know. So and everyone can do it actually, but you need just need to believe in yourself and just get it. Yeah.
And just
there is no more excuse not doing that. Yeah, there is no more excuse.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much for the inspiration. I have a special, a little gift for you, Vugar. Just before, with all of our colleagues in the call today, we take a moment to appreciate their observations in the chat box. Here is a little, the little gift I prepared for you, Vugar. And so it's and I want to make sure I do this right. So the gift is sounds nice. This gentleman, and maybe he looks a bit like you, right, from the distance. His name is Mohammed bin Sulaiman Fuzili. So he's known worldwide as Fuzili, a great Azerbaijan poet from the 16th century. And here is a poem he wrote, sung by a contemporary singer in Azerbaijan. And to everyone with us today, I invite you to appreciate what the energy of this singer is telling you about that poem from Fuzili that you cannot understand.
Meditation.
Çıkmasa
artist, the singer, right? Is called Miss
Ravana,
Alexandra. Yeah.
the Ravana. Yeah.
She's a wave maker as well, right? Vugara. We've got waves in our hearts, I think, when we listen to her, right?
It's a mukam. It's also in Arabic it's a makam. It's
Yeah.
a way how you talk to God and you sing. It's very powerful way. And Fizuli, it's the symbolizes the guy, the person who symbolizes the true belief in love, you know. And his statue is very close to me, to my house here, like 10 minutes to walk to his statue. I will send you a picture.
Yes, please. So
Yeah.
nice coincidences. Oh
Yeah.
my. Well,
Yeah.
Vugar, very, very big thank you again
Thank you.
for being fully with us all and give yourself to the coaching work. Thanks a lot. We're going to take a couple of minutes here to appreciate the contribution of every one of you, right? 300 or so, right? Or perhaps more in the chat box. And I don't know if it's Jean or is it David?
No, it's David this
Yeah.
time. Oh my,
Yeah.
Jean-Francois, if we had 2 hours, I could go through all of the observations. But if I try to package them together, a couple themes ran through this. Your use of silence was masterful, incredibly spacious coaching, gave Vugar the opportunity to find his and surface his own answers, and gave him the space for his clarity to surface and his awarenesses. There was a lot of noticing about your geography, the asking a question and then dropping your chin into your hands or moving backward and forward into the chair. One of the terms that somebody used was radiating listening. And noted that. And also there was a wondering as to whether, and you can touch on this if you choose, whether there was some intent to the moving backward and forward, or if that was just your natural movement. Allowing, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, David, yeah, I can give the instant answer. Yeah, nothing is calculated, everything is genuine, and most of it is unconscious, in fact, right?
Beautiful. Number of observations about you allowing Vugar to own the direction, and even coming back and resurfacing questions that would allow him to take the wheel and to own that direction. You were stewarding rather than leading. Listening, lots of observations about listening to his heart, listening deeply to what wasn't said rather than just the words, although you also masterfully played off the words he was using and extended the metaphors, if not challenging a couple of them. Lots of folks were noticing, tuning into Vugar's energy shifts. Even much more so than the word, and then pairing together, noticing his language changing and his energetic shift and reflecting that back to him powerfully. And again, just so many folks reiterated, allowing him to come up with his own answers, right? Resisting that urge to fill in gaps. And so much of what he surfaced could have been lost by offering up more interpretation of what he was saying. It was a real lovely dance with that line of truly allowing him to surface. And I think what the powerful way of circling back to the deeper part of who the client is being rather than even what he's saying. So there were several themes that surfaced in this, and thank you for allowing us to offer in the observations from the room. It was an incredible thing to witness.
Okay, thanks very much, David, and thanks everyone for having played, as Vukar and I did, 100% the game, right? We are in this together, and what you just said, David, is just a bit of all the contribution touches me very much. I would like that we spend kind of 6-7 minutes with some suggestion I will offer, and then the last 15 minutes together to share experience and to discuss things, if that's okay. Yeah, so just a
That
bit
works
of
perfectly.
content sharing for you all, with the hope that perhaps one or two of these things will be a useful reminder to you, right? And here we go. So I owed you contribution on 3 topics, right? The first was about the way we can be as a coach, that we enable our clients to empower themselves to shine far and long, right? So I'd like to offer just three ideas, in fact, and extremely simple. The first is to be fully trusting, and never rescuing. And perhaps, as some of you noted, right, the silence I used with Vugar, right? Well, it was a sign of that absolute trust, right? Vugar is beyond brilliant, beyond mature, beyond experience. He's just extraordinary, right? I don't have to rescue him on anything. On the contrary, all I can do is a humble job of creating the space for him to continue to grow, right? And so it's very important that clients feel that we fully trust them. Remember the International Coaching Federation's credo, right? Which includes, we believe our clients are resourceful, creative, and whole, right? We believe that, and not only we believe, but the clients must know we trust them, right? Second idea is to be calm, and perhaps today I was not calm. As you heard from David, I had a very rough and very, very long day today, so I'm not calm. I'm a little bit hyper energetic. It's not good of me. I apologize for that, right? But I hope at least I did not pollute at all Vugar's thinking. We'll ask Vugar later on. The idea of being calm, right, like a calm lake, right, it is in essence to ensure we do not pollute the thinking and the inner work of the client at all, right? So their thinking, their growth can unfold with no hindrance, right? Just like ripples can progress to the edges of a calm lake, right? And I do hope, and Vugar, you can unmute yourself. If at some stages I polluted your thinking or your work, let me know. I probably did without knowing, right? And I need to learn to do better. Vugar, anytime you come in, right? Just unmute yourself, right? Then, yeah.
I just wanted to say, from the polluting point of view, I mean, it was so clean. I mean, again, it's no intrusion. That was made me really comfortable.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Vugar. Then thanks for that. Yeah. And the third idea is to be fearlessly curious. You remember perhaps a year ago, I think I had offered two webinars with WBEX, right? Called "Stop Doing Coaching, Start Being the Coach," and I had told about being like a lion in the savannah, super sensitive to signs of energy, right? And so be fearlessly curious about what matters most to the client, right? And that will be perceptible in the energy of the client, right? And I'll tell you later on 2nd of June, at the next season of WBEX, I'll have a session on energy. I'll present it to you shortly. Then I also promised examples of actions you can take to deepen and accelerate your clients' progress, right, during the sessions, right. So the first thing I'd love to offer here is catch signs of what's happening within the client's minds and heart and guts, right? Immediately from the very first half second you see the client, just as you say hello, catch already what is just happening at that moment, right, in their whole body, right? And keep on doing it, right? And then that will help you dive deep within the client's body. The more I coach, the more I realize it's like a session must be like lighting a Christmas tree, right? When you light the candles or the lights on the Christmas tree, it's from bottom to top. It's not just one part of it. We must light up the whole body, the whole senses, the guts, the heart, the mind of the client. The whole of the client must do the work, right? And I believe that Vugar showed us magnificently that he was working with his whole self, right? And working very, very hard, right? The mind was 100%, the heart was 100%, the energy was totally activated. We had the whole of Vugar, right? The magnificent whole of Vugar totally invested into the world, right? You noticed I invited Vugar to breathe a couple of minutes into the session, right? And because I had observed that Vugar was telling me many important things, but without breathing, and I thought we need to we need to have Vugar breathe, right? And the impact is, the intention is not just to oxygenate the brain, which in itself is already important. It's also to connect the whole body. I do that more and more when I observe my clients are only with their brain or only with another part of their body. That was not the case of Vugar, right? But I still thought breathing will help activate the whole body in the work of the session, right? So I wanted to offer this practice for your consideration, because I find it really important. I also wanted, for those of you who did not had a chance to attend my session last June, right, to remind everyone, or those practical tips to leverage your clients' energy shift, emotions, metaphors, body language, or tone, and uncover their most precious knowledge, right? So how to do that practically, right? First, you've got to ask permission to share an observation. I demonstrated that twice, I think, with Vugar. And when you observe an energy shift, right? So you go like, hey, may I share an observation? They say yes, of course. Their clients always say yes, right? And they say, yeah, well, I noticed an energy shift. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But it's like, if it's right, if you felt it, what triggered it? What happened inside of you? One of the two, right? Or another question of that nature. Emotions. What message could your emotions have for you, right? As those tears are coming down your cheeks, what's coming up to your mind or to your heart? Or yeah, metaphors. Could this metaphor relate to your situation and you? And how I tried to do that with Vugar, you know, with the jar and the elephant, and then relating that to something, projecting myself to the outside world. So it was an experimental. I'm not sure if it helped or not, maybe not at all. And we cool with it, right? We try stuff in coaching. It's part of the beauty of the work, right? Some of it works, some of it doesn't, but as long as our intention for the client is right and our heart is in the right place, the session always works out well. Yeah. Body language. What could your hand be knowing about this? Or as you said, this thing, right? Your upper body straighten up. What happened inside, right? Or about the tone, your voice sounded steely when you shared. What could that reveal about your inner state at that moment, right? So using these 5 kind of things, right? To go deeper into the body of the client, right? And finally, just before we get to our conversation, right? Some ideas of actions you may like to consider taking to deepen and accelerate your progress in sessions, right? The third one is explore until you discover the source of empowerment. I did that with Vugar when I asked, where is the energy? At some stage in the conversation, right? And finally, how to close your sessions in a way that emboldens your clients and motivate them to go even further with you in sessions and without us. Yeah. So dispel kind of or challenge use of tentative language with a big smile, right? I heard I should, I heard perhaps, I heard you say maybe, or I could, right? Challenge on this, right? So we move from shoulds or coulds or maybes or perhaps to I will, which Vuga did, right? Anchor learning, I asked Vuga very simply at the end, what's the most important thing you learned about you today, right? And then Vuga said the story of the Red Sox in Boston, right? And the learning, I can do it. And he added, and people can too. Beautiful, yeah. And then third idea, right? Co-create practices to sustain energy for progress, right? Because it's really important. We ensure self-care by the client and in support of their energy in particular, right? So yeah, I find, especially during COVID time, right, we had to spend extra time at the end of sessions, right, to make sure the clients would support their well-being by being very disciplined about doing some running or meditation or whatever, right, to make sure the momentum is sustained, that is created during the session. So not only clients shine during the session, but then they shine after, and that helps them also. I mean, those practices help them shine long and far. Yeah. So with this, I wanted to say 2nd of June, same time in the US, right? 9 a.m. ET, right? That's a Thursday. I'll do a coaching demo, short one, just like 15 minutes, right? Because it's a short session, plus some content about energy. And the title of the session will be Coach Like Einstein Would, Albert Einstein would or would have, right? And enable quantum leads. And it's beyond the coaching demo. We'll explore how actually Albert Einstein's insights can inspire and empower us and our coaches to do brilliant work and trigger quantum leaps in coaches transformation. We will also look at how we as coaches can enable our clients to formulate a problem in a way that allows the solution to emerge quickly. And that's thanks to Albert Einstein. You will see why, right? And then how we can ensure that the client's energy matches the frequency of the reality they want, which happened with Vugar at the end of the session, and then get that reality, right? And that also courtesy of Mr. Albert Einstein. He's amazing. He's one of the guys who invented coaching, but nobody knew, right? Unleash your client's imagination and intuition in the most productive way, also inspired by some of the work of Albert Einstein. So that's on 2nd of June, same time, right, in the US. And now we come to the best part, right? The moment where, David, perhaps you will lead us into an experience sharing moment and also Q&A session. And we invite you, if you have in mind some challenge you may want to overcome, right? To enable your clients to empower themselves to shine far and long, please type them in the chat box. So we have a chance to take care of it, right? And David, if you are ready to go, I'll stop the sound of the waves and take place.
Beautiful. Yeah, got a number of questions that have come in. Some of it about the coaching, but others more general. So, Jerilu asked, intention is more important than action, and is the question was around, is Vugar looking for his intention? But I like that initial idea that intention is more important than action. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and the question is to Vugar, is it, David? Yeah.
I think it may have been to you. Well, it could be for both, because is Vugar looking for his intention? That was one of the questions that came up during.
Yeah. Yes, indeed, right? And I totally agree, right? Intention is the most important. Often, young coaches obsess about asking smart questions, and obviously, as they do, as they try to ask a smart question, they disconnect from the conversation, and whatever question they will come up with will not be smart because it will be disconnected, right? So there's yeah, what matters is the intention that the coachee grows and stretches himself or herself, right? In a good manner, right? Yeah.
Terry asked an interesting question. Specifically, what will the client do to shine and serve others?
Yeah. What will the client do to shine and serve others, right? Yeah, Terry, thanks. Great question to ask, right? And I guess even more in a next session with Vugar, right? Because he's done fantastic work of clearing the ground, right? And then his couple of actions, right, are like exploration of the new ground, right? Yeah, great, Terry. Thanks. Wow.
Inga asked, how many times do we need to ask clients, can I share an observation with you during a session? Sometimes it sounds a bit rehearsed. And Inga said, any thoughts on that?
Yep, sure. I would say twice, right? And after that, you just ask the question, may I share with your eyes, right? Just like you raise an eyebrow, can I go for it, right? You don't say it, right? Because of course, otherwise it's repetitive, right? But for good manner and to keep that safe space, right? It's good to ask the question the first two times, I guess.
All right, Simon asked a question that's actually come up in a couple of other coaching demos, and I did had coaches that I mentor ask this question. Simon says he's curious about what people think about note taking. He's been advised not to take notes in this session, but sometimes he does. How do you use note taking in your sessions? And just for you or some shared with the client, what are the benefits and drawbacks you might see?
Yeah. So then I'll show you my notes of today, right? So page 1, page 2, page 3, quite enormous, right? But this is because I want to remember what happened if we get to discuss what happened, right? In a non-recorded session, in my normal work, right? Day-to-day work, I would maybe, this is a client tomorrow morning, right? He's ready. That's my notes for one session, half a page, right? So that's the real work. But just what's important. But when we do a demo, of course, right? We've got to be ready to recall what happened. Yeah.
So your note taking is different when you're doing demos rather than when you're just with a client.
Yes. Why so much, right? It's because if I have a question on this or that, right, I must remember. Yeah, so it's a lot more difficult to do a demo, right, than the normal work, of course. Yeah, because of that.
And you mentioned recorded sessions. So is your note taking different when the session's recorded?
No, it was a slip of the tongue, right? A recorded demo, right? Or just a demo, right? Just forget about recorded, right? A demo, right? But no normal business, half a page, right? Just what matters for the continuation of the work, right? All the rest, what is said in the moment, I can memorize for more or less, right?
And hold it for that moment. Okay, Inga asked, how do you engage the whole of the very logical cerebral clients?
Yeah, so ask them to breathe in game. Yeah, that's a catch, right? So typically, and I'm an executive coach, right? So yeah, all my clients are executives, right? All super brainy, right? And all almost in the first 5 minutes are purely brainy, right? And then I will invite them to take a breath and then ask, hey, what would your heart have to express about the topic? Or what would your guts, right, have to express about the topic? As simple as that, right? Yeah, breathing and then be directed, right? The heart, the guts, and boom, then poof, then we've lit up the whole Christmas tree for the work. Yeah.
All right, so Barbara asked a question. When Vugar stated that he had started teaching, you didn't take the bait. You started questioning what teaching does for him, but you stayed the course on digging into what the client wanted to become. She's interested in hearing what decisions mentally you made not to detour into the teaching topic.
Okay, thanks very much for the question and the observation. And actually, I had forgotten about that, right? I wanted with Vugar that we go deeper and deeper and deeper. I didn't want to stall at some doing levels. I just wanted to go to the being, right? So I neglected that opportunity and many more things, right? Actually, right? Because I wanted we go very deep to go to the core of what could be Vugar's value proposition to himself for the future, right? Yeah, I want to thank everybody for your contribution, right? And I want also to thank again Vugar for his magnificence and his inspiration, and David, of course, and Jean and Lynn, who are in the background. Everybody, you take good care of yourself, right? So